Okay, so this is the explainer for how to do the alternate activity in 1.2 amazing algorithms. Okay, so you should already be in 1.2. You should have already completed these readings, watched this video, reviewed some of these things. You've already read about flow charting, which is going to be something that's going to be very important for us as we move through this course. So make sure that you read and review those things. Once you get here to the hide and seek section, obviously this curriculum was created for with students in a classroom in mind. You're not in a classroom with a lot of different students, so we're going to do something a little bit differently, but it's fundamentally the same. So what you're going to do is you are going to find an object, probably something that belongs to you is best, and hide it in a place in your house, okay? Some place where somebody else in your household would be able to find it. A safe place, a place where you have permission to be and go, all right? Then you are going to need to go ahead and find a volunteer. Okay, this could be someone who takes care of you, like a mom or a dad, an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, a grandpa, a cousin. It could be a brother or sister. It could be a friend. Okay, but you will need a volunteer for this activity, this hide and seek activity, in the next one. Okay, once you have your volunteer, you need to create for them an algorithm. All right. Now, this algorithm is going to be done using a flowchart. All right. Now, these three shapes for the flowchart, remember that the ovals are for starts and ends. Okay. So beginnings will be here. The rectangles are for commands, and the arrows connect each step in the flowchart to get somebody from the beginning of the flowchart to the end. What it's important to understand is that flowcharts are not a map. Okay, notice that this is basically almost like a recipe, right? It's a step by step. They're instructions. All right. So as you're making your flowchart to guide somebody from a starting place to your hidden object in your house, you need to make sure that you are not doing it as that you're not using these arrows as like showing them the direction to walk. Okay, you would need to basically put the commands right in the boxes. So they would start, and then their first box might say something like take 10 steps forward, and then the next box would say turn to the right, open the door, take 2 steps forward, turn to the left, and so on and so forth. So your directions, right? The arrows are just connecting each step in the process. They are not, you're not making a map, okay? You're making an algorithm, and there is a difference, okay? So make sure that you don't get confused on that. You are going to create that algorithm, and then you are going to have your volunteer test it. Okay, you can create that algorithm on a piece of paper with a pencil. Anytime we are doing design sketches or we're making flow charts, it's really best to have a pencil and some paper handy, because coding is pencil work. We're going to be making mistakes. We're going to have to change things. And so you want to do that in a way that's easy for you to fix your mistakes. Once you have created the algorithm, you have given it to your volunteer, you are not allowed to help them or coach them through it. The only thing you can do is explain how a flowchart works and then set them off on the path. Okay, they should not need any help from you to get additional explanations from anything. And the reason we're doing it this way is because we need to imagine that our volunteers are robots, right? They're computers. They don't know how to use clues and to ask you for additional help. Just the same way a computer, if it doesn't understand your code, won't be able to ask you for additional help. So all they'll have is the algorithm alone, and they're going to test it, and we're going to see if they're able to find your hidden object. Now, this shouldn't be a guess, okay? It's not hide and seek in the sense where they're trying to guess where it is. You are guiding them directly to where the object is, okay? So that there's no guesswork involved. And so once you've done that, then you're going to come over to your PLTW notebook. Okay, so that's our checklist. And this is, of course, going to be it's already posted in the week 2 folder. It's an assignment. And just like your 1.2 checklist was in the week 1 folder as an assignment. And you're going to go through the whole process of making a copy and doing all the things that you had to do in week 1. If you're not sure how to do that, go back, look in week 1. There is a video for copying, making a copy and changing your sharing settings to submit it. But you're going to go ahead and answer these questions and just be honest. Were they able to find their assigned object? Why or why not? Was there a way that you could have improved your algorithm to make it better? And then finally, why is it important for the steps of an algorithm to be clear, in order, and easy to understand? Okay, so notice that these questions are not exactly the same as these questions because, again, we did it a little bit differently than PLTW initially wrote it to be done. So that's fine. Don't worry about that. For this one, you're going to be answering these questions instead of those questions that you see there. Okay, so this is for steps 1 through 5, the hide and seek activity. When you move on to the bus navigation activity, in your checklist, the only thing that's different is that you're not going to be working with a partner for this. You are going to create an algorithm that gets the bus from where it is to the museum. This time, you're not going to be doing it on pencil and paper. If you want to practice on pencil and paper, that's fine. But this time, you're going to actually do this inside of your checklist. Okay, so on step 6, you have under here, this is where you're going to do it. It says insert a drawing from the insert menu. All you have to do is double click on this and it's going to pull in the drawing and then go ahead and get this done. Now, the tricky thing about this is that you are not allowed to do anything but use any commands other than these commands. Okay, so we have move forward, turn left, and turn right. Notice that it does not have a command for for move forward 4 times or move forward 5 times. We don't have a repeat command. All right. As tedious as it might seem, it won't take that long to create this algorithm as long as we are taking our time to use the functions that we have available to us in Google Drawings. So let's talk about that. So first off, obviously we have an oval because ovals are for starts and ends. That's why we have that first. To type in the oval, all we have to do is double click. Okay, you can say start. Okay, so there's our first shape. Now we need to go ahead and get some commands going. So we need a new shape. We put our commands in rectangles. Okay, we don't want to make these too big because again, we're going to need quite a few commands to get the bus to the museum because we can't use any repeats. So our first one is move forward, and you'll notice that it's in camel case, no spaces. And we're going to need quite a few move forwards for this first step. If we look back at our map here, we need to move forward 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our drawing. And let's go ahead and use Command C, click on it, and Command V, Command V, Command V, right? So we are copying and pasting. We're using this duplicate function to make ourselves a little bit more efficient, which is going to be important. And we're going to start making our algorithm. Okay, so I'm going to move these around and I'm going to get them. We want to make sure that it fits in the window. All our steps fit in the window. Now remember, this is not a map. Okay, this is a linear algorithm. Okay, so I'm going to use some arrows, and the best way to do this is instead of using the shape arrow, we're going to use the line connector. So we're going to click here, we're going to pick arrow, and we are going to just start connecting these, and that's a really quick and easy way to connect these boxes. Okay, you can make them a little bit better than I've made them. Kind of rushing through it here so that it's clear for the arrow. And then for the next step, you can go down, and you might you'll want to resize this. Okay. And then this can be a zigzag, right? It doesn't have to be all in one line because, again, it's a linear algorithm as long as all of the things, there's only one path, right? Almost like a river. A river isn't always straight, it can kind of zigzag, it can curve. And that's fine. We need to remember again that these arrows, these are not, it's not a map. It's just connecting us to the next command and so on and so forth. Okay. When you're done, you're going to click Save and Close, and then your drawing will be there. Now, it might be kind of scrunched down like that. You can, that's fine. I'll be able to click in there and view that, no problem. Okay. You also have a conclusion where you're going to insert a drawing there. Anytime you need to insert a drawing, you just put your cursor, you click Insert, go to Drawing, and select New, and it will give you the same box that we just had. Okay, so when you're done with this, you've completed the activity. Don't forget to change your sharing settings to allow me to comment. Okay, make sure that you've already um, renamed it with your, don't leave it blank like this. It needs to have your name on it, your last name and your first name. And then post the link in the assignment to submit it.